Awesome. Well, welcome back. This is Aawks again. We had a little technical
Your password?
difficulties with the first one, so we brought Aawks back on for another one. So
Yeah, man.
tell us, on May 2nd, you got On Through the Sky Maze coming out, and it is a phenomenal album. Tell us all about it.
Go ahead, Randy.
No, I want you to.
On Through the Sky Maze is a new album coming out from us. It's been a few years in the making. It's heavy. It's fucking heavy and evil, and got some grooviness and some trippiness going on, some psych stuff. And hope y'all dig it. I mean, it was a blast to make. It was yeah, it was wicked, man. And yeah, I'm really excited for everyone. I'm excited to hear what people think, man. Excited to share with the world.
Yeah,
Uh,
I li
I'm gonna send you a message right now, and you're gonna send me this. Uh,
I
where are
listened
you?
several times to it today. I was
Yeah,
wrong. I think it's a step up.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I definitely think like for me, like I preferred like it seems like you guys went a little darker. There's a lot more like blackened vocals, which I love. Oh, it was like the more I listened to it, the more I could like find these little nuggets hidden in the mix, and I loved it.
I actually appreciate that. There is a lot of little love nuggets of heaviness in there.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
been into heavy stuff, like super heavy music. And the first album, I think maybe just the place that we were at in the world, I don't know, it was like written kind of pre-COVID times, and maybe the place I was at was a bit lighter and like sunnier. And then um we definitely got heavier on this album, due in part a lot to like Smelly there, who just popped into the message into the chat. He definitely like let the heavy darkness blossom with us, and he brought the blackened vocals.
Yeah.
Well, Smelly, your vocals kicked ass, man.
Hey, thanks. They're blackened, eh? Fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, we hope to do like more of that stuff. We're trying to write some new stuff with a lot more screamies, a lot more
Yeah.
screamies.
Yep.
I'll be honest, like he
Thank you.
said, like it was, I think the whole world was in a lighter place back in, pre-COVID when you guys were writing. And I think everybody's a little darker right now. So I think that the music taking a turn for the, a little bit darker, like with me loving thrash and death metal, it just, plays right into my heart. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, man. I know. Like
Hey,
go ahead, Ryan.
oh no, that's my stuff too. I love big death metal guys. Big, crazy, spooky, yeah.
Yeah, that
Sick stuff.
darkness of the world.
Black metal, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I work with like 20 women and me, and then I was talking to them today about how I was in a
What
really
you
irritable
blended?
mood. I was pissed off. I was like, I started the day off really annoyed. And I was like, it's like I've synced up my cycle with you guys. And I was saying the reason I'm so annoyed is because there's so many fucking streams of information coming at me all the time. It's overwhelming. Like I've got 5 emails, I've got like all of these social media, like direct message streams that are always coming at me. And I can't, if I'm like, I was trying to search for a message and it took me 15 minutes and I couldn't even find it. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, I was like, I want to throw my phone in the fucking toilet and flush it because I want to go back to 1995 when I didn't have email and I didn't have any social media and I was bored all the time, but I wasn't overwhelmed with shit and pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how would you reel me in for band practice if you didn't have your phone?
Seriously.
I think we should all take a moment and welcome in Mr. Parody. He's here too. You have the entire band with you right now, Mike. Welcome.
Welcome to you guys. You guys all, I was just telling them, Bob, that your album kicks ass, man. So great stuff.
Hey, thanks, Mac. Thanks. Bonjour.
Yeah, I don't do any French. I can say the alphabet. That's all I learned in school. I went to public school. It's not very good in America.
That's the extent of my knowledge, too.
Yeah. So you guys are out of Montreal, right?
No,
We're north of Toronto, about 45 minutes north of Toronto in a town called Barrie,
Okay.
Barrie, Ontario, Canada. Welcome.
B-town.
Bob's a Frenchman.
Yeah. I thought you guys were from Montreal, so I sent you guys over to like a shit ton of Montreal bands and was like, but
We're
hopefully,
heading to Quebec next week for a 4-date tour, so
so
that's good timing.
you'll be in
Let's show
Montreal?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montreal, Rimouski, Cotacook,
Trois-Rivières.
Riviere. Yeah,
Well, I'll reach out to the guys in Montreal and hopefully they'll come out and support you a little bit.
that'd be wicked.
We'll be at the Key de Broom.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
What?
Point.
What? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
That's okay. We still love you, even though you're American.
It's cool.
I don't think you pronounced it right.
No, we definitely didn't pronounce it right. This is Ontario French. It's a butchering. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Bob, how do you pronounce it correctly?
Pronounce who?
What's the venue?
Key de Broom.
Oh, there you go. That
Broom.
sounds right. Sounds great.
That boom.
Key
I
de
thought you guys were
Broom.
just talking like in sentences. That's an actual venue?
Yes.
The Key de Broom.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
Oh,
a
okay.
beautiful Montreal venue. Wow, I'm doing a great job here.
Ooh.
You know better than me, or I mean, you're much better than me. Wait a minute. So,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm overwhelmed now with four of you guys. Like it's too much for me to handle. But do you think that like maybe some of your like influences from your label mates and stuff maybe have like also dragged you into like a darker or like your
think for
listening
me, like,
habits maybe?
I think for me, it's been what I've been listening to as well. Like the last couple of years, I've been really heavy into more sludgy stuff. Like I Hate God. I've been listening to a lot of I Hate God. There's this band Neilworm that I've heard about that's going to be putting out some stuff soon. They don't have anything recorded yet, but they're buddies of ours band. Really, really fucking good heavy sludge.
And they might be smelly.
Yeah, like Weed Eater,
Mealworm?
Neil, like
Neil.
Kneel exclamation point worm.
Okay.
Very important.
Keep
Exclamation
your eye
point.
out for those guys.
Okay.
And yeah, man, like I don't know, just like all over the map. I recently got really into Elder's first album. I don't know if you've ever heard that one, but that's fucking great.
Is that
Stirring?
stirring
Self-titled.
It's just
Self-titled one.
self-titled?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
have to
like
look-
Desert Stirring.
I'm not good with the names. I'm good with so maybe you guys could help me out then. I've had a question I can't answer for like the last 5 years. What's better than Elder's Lore or their Floating Reflections album?
That era is not my bag so much. I like the earlier stuff. We went to see them like 2 nights ago, and it's too technical for me. Like I like the heavy, like simplicity, personally.
they were seriously talented
Oh
and
my God.
amazing.
Mind blowing.
And the openers were great too, Sacramonte and Moon Destroys. But yeah, it was a technical experience for sure.
We saw the Lore album in its entirety. That's what they did when we saw them,
Oh,
and it was mind blowing. Like it really was. But
Yeah.
it's not totally my thing. It's just too technical for me.
okay.
Hey Roberto, what have you been listening to that gave to On Through the Sky Maze?
Lots of just more simple crust stuff, but heavy stuff.
Oh yeah.
But to go back and answer your question about label mates, not so much the stuff they've been putting out, but some of the bands that we've shared stages with, I think, have definitely influenced,
Definitely.
maybe pushed us into a more heavier kind of state of mind over the past year or so. When did we record the album? It was like this time last year?
It was a year ago.
May.
Yeah,
It was
we
a year
recorded in
ago,
May
yeah.
2024. Yeah, there's that band Yeti on Horseback. I really dig those guys from London, Ontario.
Yeah, that show will be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Writing all this down. I couldn't find Nova Doll though. I got to look a little bit more.
Show me
Denaturing.
sure.
I'm
Let's
looking
go.
over it all sure right now.
Denaturing. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
album. Good album.
Yeah. The album's called Denaturing and it's got a big like red leaf tree on it.
Yeah, I just said that.
Good job.
Speak up.
So
And go ahead.
if you guys are doing the mini tour in Toronto or in Montreal, who are you guys touring with?
We're touring. Well, we're going to be playing with a bunch of great bands. We play with a band called Destruction Derby.
Amazing.
in where's that one?
That one is in Trois-Rivières.
Right, Trough Riviere.
And then
And then we head to Montreal to play with Scorebutt and Kato, Kato.
Okay.
Kato is
And
sick.
then, yep. And then we're heading to, what is this one?
Cody Cook is with Dizzy Goth.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And-
I like
Got-
them.
Yeah. And then who do we have in Rimouski?
Rimouski, we're playing with Riftchild and Mope.
Mope.
Mope. That's a cool name.
Mope. Yep.
Sounds
Here,
I'm
and
gonna
I'll
have to
give
look
you a
all them
little
up. I wrote them all down.
yeah, I'm gonna give you a little preview here. So yesterday we got some photos of our actual vinyl being pressed.
Oh, that's pretty.
So there's one for you. You get to be the
Awesome.
first to see that. And there's the other one.
Oh man, they're sharp.
Yeah, these are gonna be sick.
Those are
Well,
hand poured.
I hope
Hand poured.
people need to pre-order it because I know I'm gonna grab one. So I have a feeling they're gonna sell fast.
Yeah, man. We also the first 25 pre-orders are gonna get a limited screen print from a local artist. So his name is Sean William Dawson, and he made this amazing art. Oh dear, where is it?
Yeah, we
You have
recorded a
photo?
video last year in this giant rock quarry. It was really cool. It was like being on a different planet. And like 70-foot rock wall, like straight up. And our buddy Jeff Burbage, who plays drums in a band called Loose, is also very good. He's a videographer as well, so he did the video for us. And there's a scene with our friend Casey from Novodol, actually, where she's like holding a skull up, and he made a print of
that's
that
sharp.
with our logo. And then he's an amazing artist, and he does like these ink like screen prints. So he actually makes screens and then does it all by hand. And then so we're gonna have 50 of those available. 25 will be to the first 25 records sold, and then 25 will go randomly into the rest of the inventory of the records that are going out. So like a
lottery.
yeah, kind of like a lottery, like like the cereal box kind of thing when you'd open it and go, oh shit,
You got the prize.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people order it because the more records they buy gives them more chances to get one, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Now, are you gonna have? I'm sure when you go to Toronto, I'm sure you're gonna have the new record. Wait, the new record's not gonna be out by then, is it?
New records out May 2nd. So Toronto, next in Toronto, May 23rd or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
That
But
show is
it-
going to be a fucking blast.
But in Quebec next week, we're fingers crossed, they might be lucky enough that we might have some on hands if it's done in time.
Well, just
So-
save me one because hopefully they'll sell out in the first show.
We'll definitely go to Black Throne Productions and check out the discography of all of them, but definitely get your copy because, like we said, the first 25 get that screen print. So those are definitely within the Black Throne ordering process for sure.
And how amazing is it to be on Black Throne Productions?
It's a blast, man. It's like being with buddies. Like Black Throne is not, you always hear historically about labels being like the big bad entity, but they're like the best, like full creative control. They work for us. They're like easy to work with. They're super supportive. And I mean, I don't know what we do without them. Like they really help us out a lot because there's only so much time in a day, and they do a lot of work that we just don't have time to do to help us out, like with promotions and
Yeah.
distribution and just help. Like I'm not a business guy at all. I have no business sense whatsoever. So they're really good for that kind of stuff, right? Helping us out with that in regard to that.
Sure.
And as you can tell, we got Smelly driving home from work. We got Roberto here sitting in his living room. He doesn't work a day in his life. So what would we do without Black Throne?
I mean, those guys,
day
they're
off.
always wearing cloaks, sitting on their black thrones, and they always got a scowl on their face.
Yeah.
And they're like super grim all the time, but in real life, they're sweethearts.
I always had like
They're all pussycats.
It's like a cabal, it's like going into it's all dark and shadowy, and there's dripping like cold water noises everywhere.
And there's
And there's a big echo. It's like an echo chamber, and yeah, it's just dark, hooded dudes, but they're super nice.
And you
Yeah.
just present your demo tape like,
That's right.
Yeah.
oh, please,
You
oh,
can't make
wise
eye
one.
contact.
The most amazing thing is that it became a family. We were their pilot project. We Heavy on the Cosmic was their first release ever with Black Throne Productions.
Wow.
Um, Between the dudes, there's three of them that initiated this, and it was their goal and their dream to have their own label and booking promotions. They've done amazing. You can go to their website and see the releases and see all the different bands that they're distributing now. And it's one of those beautiful things where you're like, yeah, we were there to help support and also like work with them throughout it all.
Oh yeah, and Ryan that runs it, one of the heads, is probably the hardest working guy I've ever met in my life. That guy just, I don't even know if he ever sleeps.
Yeah, we're not sure.
He just goes and goes and goes, and he's like constantly like, and he's also easy to work with, despite working his ass off all the time. Like he's just constantly like you feel cared for. You feel like he's there for
Yeah.
you. That's great.
But I've messaged back and forth with him several times, and like then I started seeing the releases he was putting out, whether it be CM or Temple of the Fuzz Witch, and it's sort of like Black Throne Productions is becoming almost like Ripple, where it's you see it on a label, you just that's a stamp and a seal of quality. Like it's just a good label that puts out good music, and apparently, since you guys were the first one, you were the way to pave the road for the rest.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a lot of like I don't know what seems like luck and right place and right time. I reached out to Ryan in 2021, I think, because Randy and I, and at the time it was Bob and with a different bass player, and we'd kind of worn out our local town and we wanted to go to the big city and play some shows. So I reached out to like a random Toronto promoter, and it happened to be him. And he'd actually surprisingly heard our EP and dug it. So then, we met and things just took off from there. And it's just been like one like lucky serendipitous meeting after another ever since then. Like until now when like we're planning this big amazing festival that's coming up, and like they're taking on more and more
That's what we're trying
bands,
to
and
get right now.
shows are getting bigger and bigger, and like it's just been phenomenal.
Do you think it's maybe like because he's hungry and like obviously no offense, but you guys aren't like Metallica size and
Nope.
like
Yeah.
so like these hungry bands want to I think like want to work harder. They put more into it, more passion, and I think that's what brings out the great products. Like it's not like you guys just
Absolutely.
slapped a couple riffs just to get an album out for contractual duties. I mean, you can tell there's a lot of passion and heart in it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And Bob and I have talked about that too, about that hunger and how you can tell when a band's hungry, and that's super like that makes it good. And when the band's not hungry and they're putting out garbage, you can feel it.
Yeah. And it
So
makes you want to
it's
help the bands that are hungry that much more though.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's just I don't know, man. I like underground music. Like I don't want to listen to Metallica. Like, I
I'll
don't
be
want to
honest, I
hear
can't stand them, even though I love thrash.
yeah.
I think a lot of dudes say the same thing. There's a love-hate nostalgic feeling about guys like Metallica and all of them. You can't help yourself. Um, but yeah, so Black Swan Productions and a lot of us, we've all been working really hard, and I want to make a moment for you here that if you can come to Canada at the end of June, you're not going to want to miss this. Over 3 days, there's going to be 37 bands, and I will share that to you privately after so you can read through the names of them. But it is an amazing lineup of everything riff-tastic. Like I can't even put into words how amazing all these
It's
bands
going to
are.
be Acid Mammoth's first time in North America, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow. I didn't know they were on the bill.
That's
They
sick.
are.
I saw a couple, like I just saw
Afternoon.
I saw Dope Throne was on the bill. I just caught Dope Throne maybe the end of last year. They did a brief little states tour and
Yep.
it was them and Temple of the Fuzzwitch, and it was just amazing and like what a night. Like I mean, just great bands, great music, good times.
Yeah, Dope Throne's amazing. They're fucking, and they put on a great show too. As is Temple of the Fuzzwitch. I love both bands.
Yeah, we've played with Temple of the Fuzzwitch a couple of years ago, and yeah, they're wildly good. And just like you were saying about influences with this album, Dope Throne plays an influence, right? Because our smelly kid there, he definitely has that growl that is, able to project that feeling that Dope Throne can pull off, as well as like you were saying with Loose and Overcrook, which are some local bands where there's just this heavy drive and this really pulsating feeling throughout their music that is really amazing. So yeah.
And I like Smelly's vocals on this. I mean, it's just so much prettier. And that's what the Temple of the Fuzzwitch was the first Doom band I heard to use like blackened vocals. And it really drew me in. But then I got a feeling today when I was listening to On Through the Sky Maze, I got a feeling like a huge dope or Electric Wizard influence too. Like I was like, oh man, that's Dope Throne right there. And I was like,
Yeah,
I love Electric Wizard's Dope Throne.
me too, 100%. I'm a big fan of anything
Yeah.
Electric Wizard worship. So like that band Mephistopheles, I'm a massive fan of that band. There's a band from I think from somewhere in the Midwest called what are they called? I have too many
Roberto?
no. Hold on, I got it in my head. I'm gonna get it out of my head here. God damn it. Sorry, this is my old brain at work here, right? Um, here I got it right here. Okay, there's a great band called Grave Speaker. They're fucking awesome Electric Wizard worship. There's a band from Australia called Rocky's Pride and Joy. I'm a huge fan of, and I don't know. There's a bunch more. I just can't think of them.
Well, that's one of your favorites right there.
Sure.
Mephistopheles.
Well, Mephistopheles for sure. There's another point I was going to make, but my meds have worn off, so I haven't focused enough.
I got to take mine still. I was outside all day. But yeah, like you could definitely tell the influence on it. And like you said, like the 29 or that was your other one, Heavy on Cosmic was so much, it was like happy. Like it was just such a like once I listened to them back to back today, it was almost like night and day. And
I've always liked contrast and juxtaposition, so
yeah,
I'm always trying to like I don't know, like when I listen to music that has that push and pull when it goes from like this super fast riff to like a halftime riff or a
yeah.
breakdown, that just like it's like it doesn't it ceases to become music and it's like an energy or something that pulls you in and makes you feel something. And I love those little those things, those juxtapositions, those pushes and pulls. So I'm always trying to write them into the music when I'm doing the riffs and stuff. So I'm
Now,
glad
like,
that
do you guys each write your
that
own pieces, or like, does Bob write his and Randy writes the drums, or
little both. Like we come up with stuff like we'll jam on stuff at practice sometimes, or sometimes I'll write riffs and bring them to the band and they'll kind of flesh them out over time. Um, it's funny because like the first album, like Heavy on the Cosmic, now, if we had recorded now, it would sound very different than when we recorded it back then. Because there's a couple songs when we play them now, they're like almost twice the tempo, because they just it took us a while to kind of get them to that place. And I would love to re-record some of those songs because I think they have I don't know if it's arguably better. I mean,
Well, let's
the
also let's also face it. I was in my infancy in drumming at that point. So you can hear it on Heavy on the Cosmic, how absolute simple, and not in a bad way, but how simple my drumming was. And it was just the guys being able to pour their magic onto it. Now you fast forward to here, I've gotten a little bit more skill set and abilities, and that's why Lost Dwellers is one of my favorite songs on that album for the new one, because that was when I unlocked like a couple of new skills. And for me, that wholeheartedly placed me in I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but yet the guys still get to work their magic. And then you add in our wonderful Smelly over here, and he gave us that extra little spice that we didn't know we were missing. And like Heavy on the Cosmic, like were you still in high school at that time, buddy? Like, you're so young and beautiful and wonderful, and we're just the old guys.
I remember when that came out. That was fun. It was like a sunny day at the theater. I caught
You
my
are in a
mom
poor
going,
service
"Oh,
area,
fuck."
sir.
Yeah, I think
The
Smelly's
local-
driving by the airport.
when he first joined the band, he was just the bass player, and then I think I asked him, I was like, "Oh, can you do vocals?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and he fucking let out this unbelievably amazing scream. blew my head off. And I was like, we got to do way more of that, dude. Like, so I'm so happy that, I asked him. Yeah, and well, I know what I was going to say. I just remembered. Another band so Temple of the Fuzzwitch does the great blackened kind of, guttural thing. But Smelly turned me on to a band called Crooked Whispers that does a similar kind of thing that we're going for with the contrast of the vocals, like the melodic and then the dark and blackened kind of stuff. Check
Yeah.
out that. They
I got
need
a
more
long
covers,
list
those
here.
guys.
Yeah, you do. You got homework.
I've been preparing. I got an interview on the 30th with this. I think I told you about them. They're called Buzzard. They're a doom. They're a doom band. I think out of the Northeast, maybe Boston. And it sounds like Pentagram if Neil Young fronted them.
Oh
And
wow.
Ooh.
he's a college professor, I believe. One of his students just got picked up by ICE, and so he's like immigration and customs in America.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
was deported or something. And so he's like politically active. So he asked me, we've been talking for like a month now, and he asked me to come up with 5 of my favorite political punk albums to talk about.
Oh, wow.
And I have about 40 written down, and I can't limit it down. I'm struggling. But like now you throw another list on top, so this is why I get nothing done.
You got to pick something by Crass. You have to.
I just picked what was their first album called?
Feeding of the 5,000 is a
That's it.
classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to that, and I was listening to Rudimentary Peni.
Yes, I love that stuff. They're
But
so weird.
my first pick was a Canadian band, Propagandhi.
Fucking
Oh,
right,
yeah.
guy. Yeah.
What about like Off Rotten?
You like Alice Rotten?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
fuck
good
yeah.
stuff.
They're from my hometown, Pittsburgh.
Oh,
And
nice.
I bought their album when I was in the Marines and like the military, obviously. And they had this big fold-out poster just basically saying like how horrible the military was. And I remember I gave it to my friend who worked at like our intelligence shop, and he laminated it for me, and I hung it up. It was like huge, maybe like 5 by 7, like 5 foot by 7 foot. And like I had it on the wall, and everybody hated me, but it was hilarious. I love House Rotten.
It's great.
Yeah, Modern Day Witch Hunt is a sick song.
I went with them, and I went with Leftover Crack. I don't know if you know them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're a little more poppy.
Yeah. But that's my 5.
You gotta
Bob's our
pick
guy.
something by is it Asuk or Asuk, depending on how you say it. They're
Yeah.
I think it's a suck. I say a suck. Ass suck.
Asuk.
Ass suck.
I have to revisit their stuff. It's been a while.
These two, Smelly and Roberto over here, they have the most eclectic, wide listening range I've ever come across. So you name something, they're going to give you 4 or 5 extras on top of that. Add in this guy for all of his listening loves. And yeah, it's an overwhelming process. Welcome to my band, Mike. Welcome.
But I tell you what, like, and this is what I've been saying since day one of doing this. Like, I think the difference is, and especially like you can see it with you guys, like there's a diversity in your band. Smelly's young, you're a female, like half of your members are, different. And so like it brings such a diverse like medley of like it's like cooking. If you have like all these ingredients at your disposal, like you're just gonna have better food.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I think
Agreed.
that's why like your albums being so diverse are also tied together. And you guys can experiment and play on different things, and it works.
Yeah, and I think a big portion, like you were saying about the differences between the 2 albums, the real connective tissue about these 2 albums is that it's a journey. So the listening experience, it's taking you somewhere. It's your own feeling, your own journey, but you're going somewhere because they take you over, right? And, like you said, Heavy on the Cosmic may have had that happy turn, but if you read some of the lyrics and saw, you could see that like all is fine is kind of like, what was it? It's like things are the worst, but it's going to be okay. All is
Yeah.
fine.
So it's like a silver lining song. Right?
Yeah.
And I
All
thought
I'm fine is still pretty heavy to play. Like I like doing that.
Oh, totally.
it's heavy,
I can
but to
play.
me, it's got like, I wanted to write like a doom. So I work in psychiatry, right? So I'm always like, going through different therapies or like, researching that kind of thing. So a lot of my stuff has like self-help based kind of stuff underneath it, or like, psychiatrically based stuff as the base or the underlying like subtext. And and that song, yeah, it just has a lot of that kind of stuff in it. I wanted to write like a positive doom song essentially, just to kind of be like a bit of a fuck you, like
Yep.
oppositional thing.
But I think it's
And
really cool.
yeah, and then even with this one, just even the title of the album, On Through the Sky Maze,
Mhm.
what does that derive from?
Well, on the surface, so I'd seen this diagram of the helical model of how the planets are going through space. Because I always thought, like two-dimensionally, you look at the sun in the middle and the planets are going around. And I thought it's just
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
flat disk, but actually it's traveling in a outward trajectory and it's corkscrewing around. It looks almost like a jellyfish or something, right? And I mean, the metaphor of the sky maze is life, right? Because we're all spinning through space, through the sky, and we've all got our foot patterns that are like mazes. If you were to take like a diagram, an aerial diagram of all of our footpaths through the world, it would look like a maze or a labyrinth, right? We all have our own footpath trajectories. So the album is really about life and death and about our journeys through the life and death. I just recently read the CIA paper about the something method. What is it called now? It was all about like, astral projection, and the CIA was studying like all these kind of crazy like extrasensory things, and they
Yeah,
released the
yeah.
paper about 20 years ago. So I read it the other day, and they came up with this, or as part of that, there's this thing called the something method, and the gateway method. I don't know if anyone's heard of this, but check the
No,
gateway
I'm gonna
method
look it
thing out.
up.
And it's all about how to astral project. And I don't know, I'm just fascinated with like life and death and the weirdness of life and death and the all the things we don't know. I mean, it all kind of relates to the psych and the doom and all that stuff, right? I've just always been obsessed with that shit.
I think we're gonna
Yeah,
have to
Chris
do this.
keeps trying to astral project, and it's weird. He's like laying on the couch with his eyes closed, trying
Who's
to.
doing that?
You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Astral projecting, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it'd be cool if you can get it to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
man.
he just lays there on the couch for hours, and then it's like we're wasting time.
But that's when they're doing it without drugs, FYI.
Yeah, there's different ways to induce it. One of them is drugs. I've never done drugs in my life, so I don't know what that's good.
Well, hey, we only got a couple minutes left. I think we should do this a third time, like maybe in a couple weeks out because I'm booked. But like I'm really into this space time thing too, and I've
Yeah, we
really
need a
started.
part two.
Yeah, and I really started exploring like a lot of stuff with my wife too. She loves it, and I'm gonna send you over some stuff.
Yeah, and I hope it gives you a spin the next time you listen to either album about that journey and that placement and that like feeling.
We
I,
should
I
meet on
kind
the
of,
astral plane, actually.
but I'll be honest. I kind of thought it was. I kind of thought it was already there because like when you see Sky Maze, I'll be honest. I'm like kind of focused on like Einstein and the theory of relativity and stuff. So I thought maybe like different fucking
That
like
definitely plays into it. I mean, like when you think about like time, what is time? We still don't
dude,
know what
don't
it
get me
is.
started.
Yeah. Like when Einstein said time is something that you read on a watch, but we don't know
Right.
what the fuck it is.
There's
Like,
no such thing as the future or the past. Like you only live in the.
mhm,
But then if you
exactly.
fuck around with like the speed of light, then they're technically living. It's
That's right.
messed up, man.
Yeah.
It's messed up, but it's beautiful and it's wonderful to just be able to even think about it all or question it all. It's fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, 100%. Well, hey, I
Fascinating.
want to thank you guys because we're really cutting it close. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Kick ass stuff. I wish you guys the best of luck. You'll probably be hearing from me a lot, even if you don't want to.
Please.
We got you.
But I wish you
Let's
guys
look
much
anytime.
success with this, and I'd like to stop back and visit, and you can tell me all your brags.
Anytime you want.
Same. Yep.